Canelo Crawford, if they do fight, what's your opinion?
It's very different weight class.
The much-anticipated mega fight between two pound-for-pound champions, Crawford and Alvarez, is set to take place later this year, marking it as one of the biggest boxing events of 2025. Crawford, moving up two weight divisions, will challenge the unified super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez, in what promises to be a thrilling and potentially historic showdown. Crawford is looking to pull off a major upset in this monumental clash.
See you in the ring. There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
Crawford's last bout was in August, when he made his debut at 154 pounds against WBA super welterweight champion Israel Mando. It was a tough, hard-fought battle, with Crawford arguably being pushed harder than ever before. Despite the challenge, Crawford won via unanimous decision, claiming the title and solidifying his status as a four-weight world champion. Having faced Crawford in the ring, Mando recently shared his prediction with Boxing News, confidently picking a winner for the upcoming fight.
I think this Canelo will win.
How?
I think it's a very different weight class, and Canelo will win by decision, said Mando. Returning to action next month after his loss to Crawford, Mando will face Virgil Ortiz Jr. for the WBC interim super welterweight title. Mando isn't the only one making predictions about the Crawford-Canelo fight. Former two-weight world champion Tim Bradley also weighed in, stating that one fighter will dominate the other.
Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight?
I like Terence.
Wow.
Friend, but he's crazy man.
Meanwhile, undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk has thrown his support behind Terence Crawford for a potential showdown with Saul Canelo Alvarez, which could take place later this year or early in 2025. Speaking with the 3KR podcast, Usyk praised Crawford's bold decision to move up three weight classes to challenge Canelo. He also highlighted Crawford's exceptional ring intelligence and versatility.
Terence win. Yeah.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yeah, Terence win. But listen, Terence, different man.
Terence is my friend, but he's a crazy man, Usyk joked. I say Terence wins. He's a different kind of fighter. He can switch stances and is incredibly smart. Meanwhile, Tyron Alec has been working tirelessly to finalize the highly anticipated Canelo-Crawford fight. Speaking with TNT Sports Boxing, former two-time world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury acknowledged that the weight difference would be a key factor in the fight. Fury believes Crawford could have beaten Canelo in a lower division years ago, but he backs the Mexican champion at super middleweight, where the fight is expected to take place.
Watch it. Is the skill level of Crawford equalize the weight, in your opinion?
I think if they fought, they'd obviously be the same weight, would they not?
Yes.
If this fight happens at 168 pounds, I'm going with Canelo, Fury said. But if it were at 140 pounds, I'd pick Crawford. So, I'll stick with Canelo. Canelo has firmly ruled out dropping down in weight, which aligns with Crawford's goal of testing himself at 168 pounds, 14 pounds heavier than his last bout.
So Crawford going from 47 to 68.
Maybe he would bring Canelo down to 60 or 54 or something, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
You have a favorite?
The fight's confirmation is still uncertain, with Crawford eager for the matchup, while Canelo has stated he'd take the fight if the price is right. However, it appears the mega fight between Crawford and Canelo is closer to becoming a reality. Reports indicate that both fighters have reached an agreement, with the event scheduled to take place later this year. The deal reportedly came after separate meetings with Saudi chief Turki Alek in London, following a year of discussions. While the boxing community is buzzing about the potential fight, one major star seems less enthusiastic.
Work, I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Gervonta Davis has been vocal about his thoughts on the Crawford-Canelo fight. His coach, Calvin Ford, recently shared his own opinion, suggesting that the Mexican champion would have the upper hand in the matchup. Speaking to Fight Hype, Ford expressed his belief that Canelo would come out on top, citing Crawford's challenges moving up in weight.
Terence Crawford Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they can get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
Canelo is the king, Ford said. It's a great fight, and I'd love to see it. But I think Canelo will win. He's been making solid moves in his recent fights. Ford also discussed Crawford's last fight at 154 pounds, where he defeated Israel Mando but couldn't secure a stoppage. It was his first fight at that weight, so we can't judge too harshly, Ford explained. He had to adjust, just like when Benavidez moved up. It's all about making those adjustments.
I'd like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, you know, as far as fights and whatnot, you know. So, again, he's the key, you know what I'm saying?
So it didn't look like...
Ford concluded by explaining why Crawford is determined to face Canelo. Terence is a bad boy. He's moving up because he wants the fight. He's not getting any younger and is doing everything he can to cement his legacy. While Crawford has focused on securing the fight with Canelo, he's also been involved in a heated social media feud with Teofimo Lopez, which has added extra drama to the situation.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look? 147? 147.
In the past 2 years, Crawford has made a strong case for being the top pound-for-pound boxer, especially after dominating Errol Spence Jr. in their super fight at 147 pounds. Davis, who fights at 135 pounds, was asked how he would fare against Crawford at 147 pounds. Confident as ever, Davis stated that he could defeat the bigger fighter in 6 rounds. At 147, Crawford's going to sleep. He has no chance. I've got him in round 6, Davis confidently declared. The significant weight disparity between them has sparked debates, and boxing legend Mike Tyson shares a similar opinion.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and
I don't like that fight, Tyson said on the Come and Talk to Me podcast. Crawford had a tough time with Mando because he's bigger and awkward. Crawford shouldn't have even fought that guy. Tyson's point is valid. Crawford faced one of his toughest challenges against Mando, who was undefeated before their bout. Despite being taller than Canelo, Crawford's wiry frame might put him at a disadvantage in heavier weight classes. Still, Crawford believes he knows what's best for his body.
He had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's hurt the jerky.
Yeah.
I think the key is knowing when it's right for your body to move up in weight, Crawford told Yahoo Sports. Before fighting Mando, I moved up because I wanted to fight the best guy in the division. A true competitor, Crawford's ambition could soon lead him to challenge Canelo for all-time greatness, and a victory would solidify his legacy despite the weight disparity.
Crawford really hasn't beat nobody other than Errol Spence Jr. that went through a car crash. Name one guy that he beat other than Errol Spence that's well known. Sean Porter that was washed. Who has he beat? He hasn't beat nobody, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody, bro.
Ryan Garcia has made his opinion clear on a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, holding nothing back in a recent interview. Known for his controversial remarks, Garcia called Crawford an overhyped bum and claimed that Canelo would win if they ever fought. Speaking to CBS TV, Garcia criticized Crawford's style, claiming that he's stealing boxing money and isn't deserving of the attention he receives.
Hey bro, Terence Crawford is no, he ain't like that, bro. Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum, bro. I'm sorry. Somebody got to say it. You're an overhyped bum, bro. I'm looking at the camera right now.
Crawford, currently serving a doping ban, responded by challenging Garcia, saying, "Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking nonsense." Garcia's comments were especially bold given his own suspension and the controversy surrounding his failed drug test earlier this year. However, Garcia remained confident that the fight with Crawford could eventually happen.
Stop acting like you're like that. Stop stealing boxing money. You're wasting everybody's money. You're not entertaining, bro. You're more this. Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking shit. I can do it anytime. You can see Crawford? I can definitely see Crawford, bro. What do you mean? I've seen many fighters like him too. He's not that good, bro. He gets hit a lot, bro. He gets wobbled, hit. Bro, he's not untouchable, bro. You act like he's Mayweather.
Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum, Garcia told CBS TV. Someone needs to say it. He's an overhyped bum. Stop acting like you're something you're not. You're boring as hell. Come see me in the ring if you think I'm wrong. Despite his harsh words, Garcia remains confident that the fight with Crawford could be a reality in the future. I could definitely see Crawford. What do you mean? Garcia added.
I don't think that he's not a great fighter, but I don't think he's as good as people say. He's not like a Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, not Tommy Hearn. You can't do that because he's not like that, bro. He hasn't fought nobody that has firepower like him.
I was one of the best amateurs, and so was he. I've seen fighters like him before, said Garcia, reflecting on the potential fight with Crawford. I don't care if he takes away my left hook. I'll still find a way to land it. He's not that good. He gets hit a lot and wobbled often. He's not untouchable. If a fight between Garcia and Crawford were to happen, it would likely take place at a catchweight, as Garcia has never fought at the 147 pounds welterweight limit or higher. Crawford's last fight was in August 2017 at super lightweight, 140 pounds. Despite being suspended for testing positive for a banned substance after his fight with Devin Haney, Garcia continues to generate headlines, often downplaying his peers' accomplishments.
I like boots, in my opinion. I mean, I like boots. I don't think Crawford could keep up with somebody that talented and young and fast. I haven't even seen him fight somebody talented, young and fast.
I was one of the best fighters in the amateurs, and so was he. I've seen many fighters like him. I don't care if he can take away my left hook. I'll find a way to land it. He's not that good. He gets hit a lot. He gets wobbled. He's not untouchable. If a fight between Garcia and Crawford ever happens, it would almost certainly take place at a catchweight, as Garcia has never fought at the 147 pounds welterweight limit or above. Crawford's last fight was at super lightweight, 140 pounds, in August 2017. Currently suspended after testing positive for a banned substance following his fight with Devin Haney, Garcia continues to make headlines by talking about his peers, often downplaying their achievements.
You know, I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but
I'd love to fight Bud. I don't think he's as good as people say, Garcia said, referring to the undefeated Crawford, who holds the WBC and WBO welterweight titles. If Bud is listening, I'd like to fight you, and I'd give you a beating. Garcia left the decision up to Crawford but made it clear that if the undefeated champion accepted, he'd be handing Crawford one of the biggest paydays of his life. If he doesn't want it, it's not my fault. He's boring as hell, but I'd probably give him the biggest paycheck of his life if he takes the fight, Garcia added.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Devontae said you got a
Crawford, when asked about his goals and future fights, shared his thoughts during a conversation on the Joe Rogan Experience. It's great that this is my era, and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, he said, speaking of his determination to become one of boxing's greatest. Now that I've switched gears, I know I want to fight Canelo. I've always said that's a big step, but moving up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 pounds and winning, becoming undisputed, wow, what can they say? Crawford reflected on his journey as a 3-time undisputed champion and the challenge of moving up 3 weight divisions to take on one of the best in the sport, someone who has been around even longer than him. My fight against Canelo Alvarez will be the biggest fight in boxing, Crawford concluded.
From 147 to 168, and the win, become undisputed, wow.
I want to go up to 68.
Addressing the potential challenge of jumping up multiple divisions, Crawford responded confidently, I would definitely have to gain weight, but I believe in my abilities. Canelo's not a big guy. He's 5 feet 8 inches and muscular, but as far as height goes, that wouldn't be an issue. We'd have to see, but I think it could happen. To be honest, I think that's the biggest fight in boxing if he beats Charlo. Initially, Canelo dismissed the idea, especially after his victory over Jermall Charlo, saying Crawford wasn't on his radar. However, after recent developments, Canelo has suggested that if the financial incentives from Saudi Arabia were significant enough, he might consider taking the fight.
So who would you fight at 68? Canelo?
If he win, or Charlo, the winner.
Wow. That would be crazy.
I want to be 3-time.
Days after Crawford expressed his intention to move up 3 weight divisions to face Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, Canelo shifted his stance as well. In an interview with Boxing Scene, Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, said he would be open to fighting Crawford if the Nebraska native's comments were serious. "Look, I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter. I always say that. No disrespect to him," Alvarez stated. "But sometimes it's a little crazy. People talk about me fighting Charlo, who's big at 5 feet 11 inches, and now Crawford, a 147 pounds fighter, who's smaller than Charlo. It doesn't make sense. Right now, I don't understand."
No, I always say if the fight makes sense, why not? But he's not in the plan. Like I say.
At the end of the day, I don't care about the credit for facing Crawford, Alvarez added. But you never know. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible if it makes sense. I'm down to do it. I don't care who it is. I'm always ready to fight everybody. Initially, Alvarez rejected the idea of facing Crawford due to his preference for a catchweight of 160 or 158 pounds, and he didn't feel it would add to his legacy to defeat the smaller Crawford. However, after hearing Alvarez's latest comments, Crawford tweeted, "Canelo versus Crawford is definitely by far the biggest fight in boxing." He later clarified that he would indeed bulk up to 168 pounds to prove himself against Alvarez.
I don't need to take that fight because then everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, he needs to enjoy his fight.
Okay,
he deserves it. He deserves it.
I know I want to fight Charlo, but if he loses to Canelo, I always say, "Man, that's a big step," Crawford said. But for someone to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 and win and become undisputed, wow. Canelo's most recent opponent, Caleb Plant, was the last fighter to be stopped by the Mexican star. The two fought in November 2021, with Canelo claiming an 11th round knockout to add the IBF super middleweight title to his collection. This victory made Canelo the undisputed champion at 168 pounds.
What's up, fight fans? Some cool moments in the locker room happening before Caleb Plant takes on Trevor McCumbee.
Since his victory over Plant, Canelo has fought 6 times, with each fight going the full 12 rounds. In his most recent fight in September, he defeated Edgar Berlanga to retain his unified super middleweight titles. Now, Canelo appears ready to focus on a mega showdown with Terence Crawford, where Crawford will be required to move up 2 weight divisions. The discussion surrounding the size difference and Canelo's knockout power has heated up in the boxing community, with some observers predicting that Canelo's size advantage could lead to another knockout.
Title at 168, Terence "Bud" Crawford walks into the locker room and they share some cool moments wishing Caleb Plant well. Who do you think is going to win this fight, Caleb or McCumbee? Leave that in the comments.
Caleb Plant has also weighed in on Canelo's power, sharing his thoughts in an interview with Fight Hub TV. "This isn't bad," Plant said, reflecting on his experience in the ring with Alvarez. He explained that while Canelo's punches were effective, they weren't as frightening as he had expected. "They say the first punch he hits you with is going to make your ribs explode," Plant recalled. "But then I started feeling some of his shots and thought, this isn't bad. The outcome was that I didn't make it to the final bell, but some of his punches weren't as terrifying as I thought they'd be. In the end, he got the job done."